It's hot as bug fuck.
And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
That's right.
Of the seed of man.
That word seed is sperm, and sperm comes through having sex.
It's shut out of your father's rod,
Right.
to put it in layman terms, in his penis.
That's right.
That means a man put his penis in a woman and bust off in it.
Then the angel said to him, "Take out the entrails of this fish, and lay up his heart and his gall and his liver for thee. For these are necessary for useful medicines."
The rest of the chapters of the book of Esther,
Go ahead.
which are found neither in the Hebrew nor in the Chaldee.
Greetings, fellow worker slaves, podcasting at 128 kilobits from the Fortress of Squalitude, not far from the Redneck Mecca. This is the Atheist in the Trailer Park podcast. I'm your host, Tucker. Professor Fuzznuts is just waking up from a nap and eyeing me suspiciously. Yes, it's a podcast hosted by a guy and his cat. Get over it. This is a Biblical Apocrypha episode, and unfortunately, America will not be joining us this week. Her computer totally borked itself, so she's unable to be on the show until she gets that fixed. She's hoping to do that this week, and if she can manage, then she should be back on the show next week. But fear not, I did manage to wrangle a guest at the last minute. X from the Utah Outcasts podcast was kind enough to join the show for this episode. Recording it was a bit of a nightmare because he had problems with Comcast. So we got started recording really late last night. That's why we kind of just jumped into things, because we were both a little tired and punch drunk, as it were. Not that it makes the recording any less comprehensible than it would have been had we started the recording earlier. Really want to thank him for putting up with sorting out his internet problems and then coming on the show. As for my new job, so far it's been going well. I did manage to get a ride home a couple of times this past week, which was nice, though the one day I could have really used a ride, I didn't get one. On Wednesday, when I left work, the heat index was 126 goddamn degrees. Normally, I can walk straight home from work, but that day I had to stop and rest. The pavement was so hot that it was burning my feet through the soles of my shoes. I bought some inserts to put in them, along with some larger shoes, because my feet have been swelling, so hopefully that won't be a problem much longer. Don't really have any other housekeeping announcements, save that former guest on the show, Shelley Segal, will be performing in Nash Vegas next month at Belcourt Taps. I'll have a link to Shelley's page along with Belcourt Taps page in the show notes. And if anybody in the area could give me a ride to and from the show, I'd appreciate it. With all that out of the way, here's X and I trying to figure out 2 chapters from 2nd Esdras. And the angel that was sent unto me, whose name was Uriel, gave me an answer, and said, Thy heart hath gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High?
Okay. You're too worldly.
Yeah.
How dare you question God? That's ridiculous. That who would? Okay, first, who put this guy on the most high pedestal? Really? Mm-hmm. How do we know he's the top dog? I mean, is this about the era of like El Shaddai? So is this the Hebrew God we're talking to? Is this which one is this?
This would have been right after the Babylonian captivity was over, or exile.
Oh, so we are talking polytheist Hebrews at the time then.
Right.
So this is El Shaddai. There we go.
Yeah.
These are all the Elohim.
Yeah. You want to take the next 2?
Yep. Then I said, Yea, my Lord. And he answered me and said, I am sent to show thee 3 ways and to set forth 3 similitudes before thee, whereof if thou canst declare me one, I will show thee also the way that thou desirest to see, and I shall show thee from whence the wicked heart cometh.
Okay. I don't understand any of that.
I don't. It almost sounds like they're trying to sneak in some Trinity stuff in there, but I don't think so.
Well, in the previous books and chapters, there's been a couple of people named Jesus.
Oh, wow! They just named him outright, huh?
Yeah, and you can't really figure out, who these individuals might have been in the sense of what kind of figures they, whether they were just somebody in the neighborhood who happened to be named Jesus, or if they're trying to say, no, this is the actual Jesus Christ.
No, it's Jesus from down the street. His nickname is Chewy. That one's always fun for me. What's your name? Jesus. Well, what's your nickname? Chewy. What? Okay, yeah. If thou canst declare me one, I will show thee also the way that thou desirest to see. Is he asking him to, like, if you declare me a cool guy, I'll give you some mushrooms? I don't know.
I don't know.
Where from whence the wicked heart cometh. We're all humans. It's already in there. I love it when they try to assign a third party to what evil is.
Yeah.
When we're the ones that make the evil. Go humans!
And I said, Tell on, my lord. Then said he unto me, Go thy way, weigh me the weight of the fire, or measure me the blast of the wind, or call me again the day that is past. Then answered I and said, What man is able to do that thou should ask such things of me? Well, we can measure the...
We can do 2 of those at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, we can do all 3. We just...
Yeah, you just have to be in Australia and
yeah.
be calling over into Hawaii. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the previous day, fuckers. It's past the date line. And then weighing the fire. Oh, that's not too hard to do. It's pretty much the weight of the fuel, and it just gets lighter.
Yeah.
Measure me the blast of the wind. Yeah, we can
we can figure out
the time. We can figure out the force of the wind. It's how we get weather.
Yeah.
God damn it. And what man is able to do that? That thou shouldest. Fucking old English, or not even old English. I don't even know what the hell this is. What this was transcribed from. It's that whole King James way of talking. Let's see. And he said unto me, If I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, or how many springs are above the firmament, or which are the outgoings of paradise, peradventure thou wouldest say unto me, I never went down into the deep, nor yet into hell, neither did I ever climb up into heaven. This doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No.
How great dwellings are in the midst of the sea. Yeah, well, we have a pretty good idea of what's in the bottom of a lot of the ocean. We can scan things. We have sonar nowadays.
Yeah.
How many springs are in the beginning of the deep? That sounds like something you would hear in a the horror writer, the guy that invented Cthulhu and
H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, it sounds almost like an H.P. Lovecraft kind of thing. It's like, well, I know how many deep ones are down there, but how many springs are above the firmament? Well, if the firmament is all the ground, then nothing, unless you're going to count planets or exoplanets and stuff like that. But who knows? They had no concept of that at the time. So.
Yeah.
I never went down into the deep, nor yet into hell. Wow, this book just calls it directly. So it's talking Jesus and hell, even though there was no mention of that in the Old Testament. So, oh man, nor did I ever climb up into heaven. Well, we've breached the atmosphere. We have stuff in orbit, or those flat Earth people says that's all bullshit.
Yeah. When I was 5 or 6, I took my first ride on a jet.
Yeah.
Well, any kind of plane at that point. And I remember being all excited because I was like, ooh, I'm going to get to go up in a plane and I'll actually get to see heaven. And then I stopped and thought about it for a moment. I says, well, if you could see heaven from planes, then there wouldn't be atheists.
Yeah. And yet they still exist.
Yeah. Okay, now let's see here. Nevertheless, now have I asked thee, but only of the fire and wind, and of the day wherethrough thou hast passed, and of the things from which thou canst not be separated. I English good, motherfucker. And yet canst thou give me no answer of them? He said, moreover, unto me, thine own things, and such as are grown up with thee, canst thou not know. I can't.
This is reading like those the Beetlejuice Handbook for the Dead instructions. It's like it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. You can't know your own shit because you can't know your own shit.
He said to me, your own things, the stuff that you grow up with, you can't know about. Fucker, I grew up with them. I would like to think that I have quite a few number of years behind me where I can...
Yeah.
And he invoked fire and wind. I was waiting for earth.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. How should thy vessel then be able to comprehend the way of the highest, capitalized, and the world being now outwardly corrupted, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight? Then said I unto him, it were better that we were not at all, than that we should live still in wickedness, and to suffer, and not to know wherefore.
Okay, so basically this seems to be saying, shit's fucked up and you're too stupid to understand how fucked up it is.
Yeah, how dare you humans think that you can comprehend the might of God and all of the stuff that he is responsible for, all of the morality that he gives people and all that. The world now being outwardly corrupted, understand the corruption that is evident in my sight. So you can't understand evil because you are evil, or something like that. You have no way of being able to say what is good because you are not good.
Yeah,
and you're too human.
Yeah, there's this guy who's probably, at the very least, he's autistic, and I would say more likely he's some kind of psychopath or sociopath on a message board that I go to, and he's a Church of Christer, and he makes arguments like this, which is funny because he wouldn't know anything about this because this ain't the part of the Bible they accept.
Church of Christ isn't that the Mormon offshoot?
No. This is different than the Mormon offshoot.
Okay, because I'm thinking of the one that wanted to go with the lineage of Joseph Smith. I think they call themselves that as well.
Well, there was...
Or I think they changed their name from then. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because...
These guys can't ever fucking stay on the same page with whatever they're doing religion-wise.
Yeah, because there's... Because originally the Mormons called themselves the Church of Christ, and then they changed it to the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints or something else, and then there was all the various offshoots, and one of which also called itself the Church of Christ of like buggery or something like that. I don't remember. And this is another one which is they're not a very large religious organization. In fact, the largest church that they have is not too far from where I live, and they I briefly dated a gal who went to that church, and they're, they have, not that this is unique among religions, but they have some really squirrely ideas. Like they think they're the only authentic church because they're the only one mentioned in the Bible.
Well, that's handy that you managed to, take that moniker.
Yeah, and it's like there's no actual name given to any church in the Bible. But somehow they think they are the founding, that they're... they're the true church, and it's like, but you guys didn't exist until the late 1800s, more or less. How is it possible that you didn't exist from, say, 30 AD to, 1870 or whatever it was they were started?
Yeah, don't bother Wikipediaing Church of Christ, because once you get the disambiguation, you get at least 40 line items to look up on this. And I believe the one that you're talking about has about 1,300,000 in the United States, which is not terrible, but it's still teeny tiny, you know?
Yeah, they and they don't have any kind of hierarchy system like, most churches have. You've got your local branch, and then you've got your bishop or deacon or whatever council above that, and you've got your national order. They don't have any of that, apparently, to the same extent.
So they're all lay people, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or probably they give themselves grand titles, I bet. I bet you anything. They make up their own shit as they go along.
It's probably true. I know they have a couple of small universities, and one of them is in Italy, because the gal I briefly dated, she went there for a year, and the church that's in Italy, or the university that's in Italy, is more restrictive than the American ones. Like, they ban dancing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll take Footloose over there and show the Italians. But we're getting off into the reeds. What was it about the guy that you were talking about where he might be slightly autistic? And
yeah, but this is the kind of shit that he says, well, we can't know God, and our, we can't apply the morality that humans have to follow to the morality that God has to follow.
I love that one, because I am more moral than your fucking God.
Yeah.
And I'm a chaotic evil on the alignment chart. Well, okay, maybe chaotic neutral. Oh wait, no, what is it? I'm not lawful. I'm not evil. What is it? Neutral. Yeah, neutral. Whatever it's. Yeah. It's on the spectrum. I'm definitely not lawful.
Yeah, it's been too long since I played D&D, so.
Yeah, been entirely too long.
Okay, now where the hell?
I think we were on verse 12. Let me bring it up here. And he answered me and said, I went into a forest, into a plain, and the trees took counsel and said, Come, let us go and make war against the sea, that it may depart away before us, and that we may make us more woods.
So they were ants.
Make us more woods. Yeah. I've never seen it like pluralized like that. Make us more woods. Woman, get back in the kitchen, make me more woods. Make war against the sea. Yeah, let me know how that goes for you.
Yeah. Well, there was that what was it, Mad King Ludwig, something like that, who is thrown out on the beach and commanded the sea to retreat from him, and it didn't.
Overcame him. He's like, fuck.
Let's hear. The floods of the sea also in like manner took counsel and said, Come, let us go up and subdue the woods of the plain, that there also we may make us another country. The thought of the wood was in vain, for the fire came and consumed it. Well, okay, if you believe the whole Noah's Ark thing, then the seas got to do just that.
Yeah, the seas won handily on that one.
Yeah.
And then they carved the Grand Canyon, and then they hit all those dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
The thought of the wood was in vain, for the fire came. Okay, so
yeah, that's just sort of out of left field that the fire's even brought in.
The sea wanted to take counsel and they wanted to subdue the woods of the plain, that we may make us another country. Okay, if you have seas taking over a plain, you don't have a new country, you just have flooded land. At least that's how I see it. That's like how we have with New Orleans.
Yeah.
That doesn't exactly make it a new state or a new city. It just makes it under fucking water. The thought of the floods of the sea came likewise to naught, for the sand stood up and stopped them. If thou wert judged now betwixt these two, whom wouldest thou begin to justify, or whom wouldest thou condemn? Well, I'm not going to justify. I'm not going to say either justified or condemned, because it's all a bunch of hooey.
Yeah.
The sea being brought to a halt for the sand stood up to stop them. Well, sand without a binding agent, as you know, water, it doesn't stand up to hardly anything.
Yeah.
Wind or water. I mean,
and
if thou were to judge now betwixt these two, who would? No, they're trying to make a parable about. Well, who are you to say who's right and who's wrong here? You have no way of saying, because all of them are wrong. Which one do you think is right? You know, it's like trying to get you to play on your pre-built-in judgments on things, and I don't like where it's going.
well, all I gotta say is if I see sand standing up, I know I'm on some good drugs.
Be like, oh, it's Sandman. Oh, it's Sandman.
Woo! I answered and said, verily, it is a foolish thought that they both have devised, for the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea also hath his place to bear his floods. Then answered he me and said, thou hast given a right judgment, but why judgest thou not thyself also?
Don't end a sentence with a preposition. No, that's not really a preposition. But it's terrible.
Okay. I don't get this. This does not make any sense.
It is a foolish thing they both have devised, for the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea also has its place to bear its floods. It's just, well, I'm smart. I can answer this question. Then why not judge yourself this way? Oh, fuck, he's right. I should really think about, me being a dick to other people. I don't know if that's what they're trying to get to.
Yeah, well, it's like, no, but you've got an original sin, so you're going to be a dumb fuck. So why is this your fault?
That's always one of my favorite things that I bring up with people, with religious people. It's like, do you believe in? Well, I can't say believe in evolution. Do you think evolution is true? And if they tell me yes, I'm like, well, then you don't. Your whole Jesus thing doesn't work, because there was no need for him to die, because there was no original sin, and yada yada yada. And so they're like, oh no, we believe in evolution. We believe we came from one man and one woman in the Garden of Eden. It's like, oh, god damn it. I've met Mormons with that belief, and that's always fun, because they have to have both work.
Yeah, well, it's like that sociopath guy. He recently had to be hospitalized because drug-resistant antibiotics or drug-resistant bacteria were eating away at his foot. And he made a comment about not believing in evolution, and it's like, dude, if evolution wasn't true, you wouldn't have to worry about your foot getting eaten off. He's like, that's just
for like. Oh, sorry, go for it.
He's like, well, that's just because I didn't go to the doctor soon enough.
We all are guilty of that shit.
Yeah.
For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his floods, even so that they dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that is which is upon the earth. And he hath dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. And then I answered and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, let me have understanding.
Well, that seems to be saying, okay, if you live in the water, if you're a fish, you can only understand fish things. If you live on the land, you can only understand things on the land. And if you're in heaven, you can only understand things in heaven. So that would mean that basically God doesn't know dick about shit down here on earth, and you probably shouldn't actually listen to him.
And he definitely didn't intelligently design anything, because if you can choke on food, that is a stupid fucking flaw.
And as many people have said, what kind of idiot puts the snack bar so close to the shithole?
Exactly. I think Felicia talks about that sometimes. Who puts the pleasure area next to the sewer? God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, some people like the sewer.
Yes, and those people are perverted. We call them Germans.
Essen mein Scheiße.
Mom, if you were in a German Scheiß video on the internet, would you tell me?
Sure, I would, Snookums. Oh, that's old. That's old as balls, South Park, Tucker. God, I know you're older than me, but man, that made me go, oh shit, I was still in high school when that came out.
Oh, fuck you.
I know.
You.
I gotta do it. Sorry.
I just find it hard to believe it's been on for
like
20 years.
20 years about, yeah. Oh man, I played the shitty not Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64 game. Man, it was fucking terrible.
Okay, let's see here. Then answered I and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, let me have understanding.
That was my last line.
Okay.
Yeah, 23 is yours.
For it was not my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily. Namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen, and for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over unto ungodly nations, and why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught, and the written covenants come to none effect. And we pass away out of the world as grasshoppers, and our life is astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy.
Wow, man. We pass away out of the world as grasshoppers. I know they're trying to make an allegory towards something, or at least a metaphor with this, but I the only one I know of is like the grasshopper and the ants, and
that would have whoever wrote this couldn't have known about that fable because, well, I mean, in theory they possibly could have, because I'm sure Aesop just wrote the shit down that was already floating around in the culture.
Yeah,
but I think it, I guess it's saying we live our lives quick and fleeting, but Shakespeare said it better.
Doesn't he always?
It was more comprehensible.
And I love when religious texts like this, they have a verse that is just entirely too long for it to be like one verse. It really should have been split up into like at least two on that one.
Yeah.
Man, that's terrible. What will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? What will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? Of all these things I have asked. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world has to pass away.
Well, I actually kind of
I agree with that last statement because
well, I agree with part of that because, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. The more you understand about the world, the more amazing it is.
Did you see and to go off on a tangent, but it's a related one. Did you see the dark matter galaxy that they posted?
I haven't read any of the articles on it. I've saw the headlines and skimmed a couple of things. That's
a galaxy with about the same mass as the Milky Way.
Yeah.
But with 1/100th of like the star density.
Yeah. There's
and so there's got to be something holding all that shit together. Yeah,
there's a and they just discovered another galaxy orbiting ours that is it's smaller than ours, and it's dimmer than ours, so that's why they only just noticed it. But it's like really close, and I don't know if obviously there has to be some kind of dark matter and dark energy involved with it because it's a fucking galaxy, and that's what makes the galaxies work.
Glue together, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, that's just, it's bizarre that we're finding all this shit that we never even imagined.
what was great about the one that I was talking about, the one that they found that was about 300 million light years away, they thought it was like a smudge. They thought it was like a defect on the glass, or at least on the instruments that they were reading it on. And they got in touch with the people out in Hawaii to do the usual, can you look at this for us? And they like, yeah, it's just it's like a really dim smudge. And it's fucking amazing. You guys should go check out the news story for that one. It's really cool.
Yeah. Somebody was, because it was Percival Lowell who built the observatory in Arizona to try and find, Pluto. Not that they had named it that or anything like that, but they were looking for, he figured there had to be a planet out there.
Yeah.
And of course he died before Clyde Tombaugh found it. And somebody went back through the images that Percival Lowell had been looking at, and they actually found Pluto on those images, but Lowell didn't realize that he was looking at a planet and just thought it was another star.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And
how far we've come in such a short time.
Yeah. And Galileo, what was it? Is it Neptune or Uranus? One of the two. That it was people realized that he had found whichever of the the ice giants, because Jupiter and Saturn are the gas giants, and then Neptune and Uranus are the ice giants. But he had actually spotted the last ice giant in the solar system that nobody knew anything about, but he didn't realize it was a planet, and he just had it as a star on his drawings, and it wasn't until the 19th century that somebody spotted it and identified it as a planet, and I can't remember who it was who did that, but they had. And
yet, we're still talking hundreds of years before Brigham Young came to Utah and said, "We will go to the moon to do mission work." The men that dwell on the moon. Google that one, guys. That's funny. 27.
Thank you. And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteousness in time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Well, who created that shit?
Yeah, thank you, God.
But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. So is that trying to prefigure?
It's Armageddon priming right there.
Yeah, which wouldn't have been. Well, I don't know. I can't find a good answer when this actually was written. I suspect that, the supposed author is Ezra, who was a prophet, but I suspect that this text was written long after he was dead and was attributed to him. As so often happens with religious works.
Yeah. Let's see. What did he say in this one? Like, promise righteousness in time to come. Like, don't worry. Your Savior will come. The world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Well, yeah, we're humans, and this world is, not designed for us. We're we're a species that climbed to the apex, but we could very easily be taken down a peg or two.
Yeah. Well, okay, so this world sucks shit now, but one of these days it'll all get better. When that'll be, fuck you.
Because Jesus. They didn't say that in the text, but if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that this is... Can it not come... Cannot it come, fucking hell, that is sown with good? For the grain of evil seed hath been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. That doesn't make any sense. And how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time? And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come? I'd be really afraid of some threshing come. So I don't understand the grain of evil seed that had been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. If these people's almighty God created man, but he created him with that flaw, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it doesn't make... Yeah, we're going to make you fucked up, and then we're going to punish you for being fucked up, even though that's how we made you, because... Jesus.
I'm going to put this tree right here in the middle of the Garden of Eden, and I'm going to say, don't touch it. But...
Yeah.
And wait, Adam, you're sad. You're lonely. Let me make a woman out of you. And then she's going to be tempted. And then, okay, how would they know the difference between good and evil without imbibing on the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil? Yeah. Oh, wait, because God said so. That's the whole message that the Christians are trying to give you out there. Don't question it. Just do what God says. I mean, do what I say. I mean, what God says.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth. And when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they fill? Okay? So that's just a long, elaborate way of saying there's going to be a lot of bad shit that happens.
How great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil has. So there's a lot of evil shit in the world because of, Adam and his fall. When they're cut down, which are without number, how great of a floor shall they fill? Well, okay, everything has a number. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
It's the whole jar full of gumballs thing. Half of them are good for you, half of them are poison. That number will have to be either an even number or an odd number, depending on which one you're looking at. So
yeah.
So I mean, it is a definite number. I mean, there's not such a thing as infinite humans on this planet. We know that the population is around 7 billion, which fucking scares the shit out of me. But, man, old religious books, hooray! And then I answered and said, "How and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil?" And he answered me, saying, "Do not thou hasten above the Most Highest, for thy haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded." Don't ask me questions, kid.
Yeah.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Did not the souls also of the righteous ask question of these things in their chambers, saying, How long shall I hope on this fashion? When cometh the fruit of the floor of our reward? And unto these things Uriel the archangel gave them answer, and said, Even when the number of seeds is filled in you, for he hath weighed the world in the balance. What the fuck?
Let me name drop Uriel real quick.
Yeah, I mean, how is that an answer? Oh, yeah. When we know the number and you're full, yeah, something.
Something will happen once it reaches this level.
Yeah.
By measure hath he measured the times. God damn it. By measure hath he measured the times. And by number hath he numbered all the times. God, fuck this text, man. And he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. God. Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, even we all are full of impiety. That was hard to read.
and it makes even less sense than anything else we've read so far.
By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. Okay, so he's measured how bad you are, and he's numbered how evil you are, and he doth not move nor stir them, the seeds of evil within, or some shit like that, until said measure be fulfilled. So, if he measured them, why the fuck did he number them? Because you said there was no number.
Well, and once he's measured them, then he's fulfilled the measuring, so therefore he ought to move or stir them or whatever the
make a move. Do something about it. What you gonna do about it, God?
And for our sakes peradventure, it is that the floors of the righteousness are not filled because of the sins of them that dwell upon the earth. Okay. So he answered me and said, Go thy way to a woman with child, and ask her, when she hath fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her.
Yes, it can.
Yeah,
I've met women that have gone to 10 months.
Yeah.
And then said I, No, Lord, that can she not. Fucking liars. And he said unto me, In the grave the chambers of souls are like the womb of a woman. Don't talk shit about uterus. For like a woman that travaileth maketh haste to escape the necessity of the travail. Wow, that was a thick-ass sentence.
I have no idea what it means.
Even so do these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them. Well, she got knocked up. There's no way to keep that baby in her forever. Just like you're a bad person. There's no way that you're not going to be judged for that evil shit or something like that, I would assume.
It makes as much sense as anything else.
Just make the words as much alphabet word soup that you possibly can, and just have a guy go, I'm going to translate this for you. That's how religion keeps going. Like, oh, this is my version of this.
Yeah.
Got to start a church, Tucker. Get you that tax exempt status.
Yeah, no kidding. From the beginning, look what thou desirest to see. It shall be showed thee. Okay?
Showed. SHEWED. That threw me off so bad earlier.
So I guess it's describing the internet. I want to see boobies.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt had the best line about what the internet really is. Like, it makes you a Roman emperor who's in the Colosseum. He's like, I wish to see 2 women fucking over a pie. I give it a thumbs up.
Well, I love what's his name rant in Jay and Silent Bob's Strike Back. The internet was designed for you to slander people anonymously and exchange porn.
I think that was Jason Lee that gave that rant, if I remember.
Who unfortunately is a Scientologist.
Oh, that breaks my heart because I love the guy's roles. I love the guy as an actor.
Yeah.
Can't say the same for Travolta and Midget Man, whatever the hell his name is. Cruz, there you go. Can't unsee the crazy.
No. Then answered
sorry, go for it.
Yeah. Then answered I and said, If I have found favor in thy sight, and if it be possible, and if I be meet therefore. What the fuck?
And if I be meet therefore.
and that's not meat as in flesh, that's meat as in encounter.
Yeah.
Show me.
God, if you like me a little bit, and if it's possible, can I possibly hook up with you in the afterlife?
Really?
Yeah. Show me then whether there be more to come than is past, or more past than is to come. He wants to know, are we halfway there? or are we past that?
Yeah.
Are we less than halfway or past the halfway? What is past I know, but what is for to come I know not.
English, motherfucker, can you speak it?
Well, I already know what happened in the past, but can you tell me what's coming in my future? God, be my fortune teller, please.
And he said unto me, Stand up upon the right side, and I shall expound the similitude unto thee. Ooh. Now, I'm going to double check this, because if I'm not mistaken, and thanks to the handy-dandy Googles, we can find this out real quick.
Similitude.
Yeah, similitude. The quality or state of being similar to something is the dictionary definition. So, basically, the angel Uriel seems to be saying, yeah, I'll show you some fake shit. So I stood...
Stand upon the right side, and I shall expound the stuff that is similar to what you...
Yeah, it's the simulation, more or less. So I stood and saw, and behold, and
hot.
and hot burning oven passed by before me. And it happened that when the flame was gone by, I looked, and behold, the smoke remained still.
He saw a hot burning oven pass by him. I see that on commercials all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, so Uriel just showed him some fucking Papa John's commercials. That's what he did.
Yeah.
After this, there passed by before me a watery cloud.
What the fuck other kind of cloud is there?
And sent down much rain with the storm. And when the stormy rain was past, the drops remained still.
That's some good shrooms, man. That's some good
flying
shrooms.
ovens.
That's I've seen shit like that, and I was on some good shrooms. So.
Then said he unto me, consider with thyself, as the rain is more than the drops. No, that is the very fucking definition of the rain. And as the fire is greater than the smoke. No, you're talking about a byproduct of the fire. But the drops and the smoke remain behind. No, smoke dissipates, and drops eventually either soak into the earth or they're evaporated again to make more clouds and water. So the quantity which is past did more. The quantity which is past did more exceed. Trying to get back to the whole, are we halfway fucked up, or are we like still got quite a ways to go? I mean, can I plan on having kids in the future?
Yeah. Okay. Then I prayed and said, may I live, thinkest thou, until that time, or what shall happen in those days? He answered me and said, as for the tokens whereof thou asked me, I may tell thee of them in part, but as touching thy life, I am not sent to show thee, for I do not know it.
Some angel you are.
uh...
Some omnipotent being you might claim to be.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can ask me the questions, and I can give you kind of an answer, but not really, and fuck it. Okay, you want to tackle the for Ezra 5, which because that's slightly longer than this one, but it'll bring us in.
Okay. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come, that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of the truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. I can't fucking wait for that day.
Yeah.
But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast learned or heard long ago.
Okay. Now, I wonder what he means by iniquity, because, the previous books have all described how the various groups of Jews left Babylon and went back to Israel and basically looted Babylon before they left. So that seems kind of a bit of an iniquity to me, that you rob a kingdom multiple times.
This is funny. They slander Jews even back then. Quit being so Jewy, Jew.
We're Jews. We can say this. Stop being us. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day.
I see the moon in the sky during the day already. I mean,
yeah,
it's bright because it's reflecting sunlight. the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night. This is back when they still thought, the sun is just a source of light.
Yeah.
They can come on and off. It's still there. It's just not on right now.
Well,
Morpheus did his job and he covered up the sky.
Well, and not only that, I mean, he's like, it seems to be saying, oh yeah, you might live, you might not. God will just make up his mind, and you won't know until it happens. Even though you're asking me if it's going to happen.
And blood shall drop out of wood. If your erection lasts more than 4 hours, you got a problem. And and the stone shall give his voice. Okay. And the people shall be troubled. That's not.
I just keep hearing that, the fire chief in Ghostbusters saying, the walls of the 34th precinct are bleeding.
Well, it's just like, the people shall be troubled. That's not really that fucking hard to do. A stone talking, that's kind of hard to believe. A blood coming out of wood, even harder to believe. But people shall be troubled. That's pretty goddamn easy to do.
Yeah. Well, there's supposedly, and this is one of those memes that I saw on Facebook, so you know how reliable those are. There's something called like a dragon blood tree, which its sap is red. And I haven't looked it up to see if it's actually true or not. But
it sounds like the Game of Thrones weirwood or whatever the hell they're called, the ancient trees that have the faces on them. And even he shall rule, whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth, and the fowl shall take their flight away together. You're going to see some ducks flying away.
Yeah.
And even he shall rule. I'm wondering what. It's not a capitalized he.
Yeah, so who's the he?
Yeah. Could it be, I don't know, Satan?
Could be. And the sodomite-ish sea, so I guess it kind of does anal, but not really. Shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. Wow.
Everybody this time, instead of, not many. Many have not known, which many have not known. There's some, though.
Yeah.
Shall cast out fish. That's... never mind. I can't even get it how stupid that sounds.
The sea that has anal sex will spit out fish. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. That's nice and misogynistic there, buddy.
Those ladies with their bleeding sliz, they're just going to be like, come forth, my monkeys, fly, fly. And salt waters shall be found in the sweet. And all friends shall destroy one another. All friends.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be frenemies then if they're going to destroy you?
That's like me driving all the way to Tennessee and be like stabbing you. Yeah. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. Once again, not capitalized. I heard Saddam had a pretty awesome secret chamber. And shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and in contingency. Wait, no, God damn it, incontinency. That's the name of Biggest Dickus's wife.
I think she was incontinentious buttocks.
Nope, throw him to the gladiators. Gladiators go for all of you. Incontinency may be multiplied upon the earth, so people are going to get loose assholes. People are going to turn bad, and they're just going to be shitting everywhere. They can't help it. The world's gonna turn to ducks because ducks are fucking evil, man. They rape and they shit everywhere.
One land also shall ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say no.
No.
What the fuck does that mean?
So I'm going to talk to those guys over in Saudi Arabia and say, hey, is righteousness that make a man righteous gone through who? There's not a capitalized. It's not capitalized, so I don't know who they're talking about.
Yeah.
If they gave me a capitalized, I'd be like, that's God.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It don't make no sense.
No, it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
At the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. Well, that's America in the 21st century. Ooh.
Yeah. But you know what? There are some things that if you work hard enough at, you will eventually, get the recognition that you need for it. I'm not saying like jobs, because jobs are just ways of making money, really. At least that's how I look at it. But like you doing the show and me doing my own show, it's like the more you put into it and the more work you do to it, like you start to build the audience. So, I mean, this is getting really meta podcasting anyway. So to show thee such tokens that I have left. Yeah. And if thou wilt pray again and weep as now and fast even days or fast even days, thou shalt yet God damn it, thou shalt hear yet greater things. Then I awakened, and an extreme fearfulness went through my body, all my body, and my mind was troubled, so that it fainted. You pussy.
It reminds me of the St. Louis Black says, he's like, it's where the left half of the brain looks at the right half of the brain and says, it's dark in here and we may die. Hang on, I gotta shed him and refill my glass. I'll be back in just a sec.
All right.
Oh, cat. Come on, buddy. Get down. Stop clawing at my neck. Oh, thank you. Okay. I'm back. Yeah, this don't make no sense to me at all. And when I'd heard of the Apocrypha, I was always like, well, why
cool,
did this...
books I haven't read yet.
Yeah, and why did this get cut out of the Bible? Now I understand why it got cut out of the Bible by most other branches of Christianity besides the Catholics in the Ethiopian Church.
The Ethiopian Church specifically.
Yeah, well, that's this website. Well, not this web, but it's the Ethiopian Church that has the most books of the Apocrypha.
Ah, gotcha.
And so this is the listing of, this is the text of the Apocrypha as, believed by the Ethiopian Church. That's, and what I don't understand is, where is it? And fast even days. Does that mean like you fast on
even days or like as days as well? I don't know what the even is in that sentence.
Yeah. Is it like, do you fast on the 12th, or does it mean you fast during the daytime and eat at night, like Ramadan?
Yeah, Ramadan.
Okay.
My ability to speak is going to get a lot more fun because I just made myself a shot with a beer. So.
Hey. It can't make it any more confusing.
Nope.
So the angel that was come to talk with me held me, comforted me, I bet he did, and set me upon my feet. Had him standing tall, huh?
Erect.
And in the second night it came to pass. God, I hear the fucking Book of Mormon every time I read that phrase. That nevertheless, it doesn't matter what context. It's like, what is a fucking Book of Mormon?
It came to pass.
That Salathiel, the captain of the people, came unto me, saying, Where hast thou been, and why is thy countenance so heavy? Dude, I've been out in the middle of the desert taking shrooms, man.
I'm gonna need a good day or two to catch up from this shit.
I had a bad trip. Johnny Cash appeared as a coyote. Who's Johnny Cash? Give it a couple of thousand years, you'll find out.
Well, I had a friend. I'm not going to give the person's name because some people might know who he is. But he texted me earlier tonight. He's like, "I'm so high right now." I'm like, "Oh, well, go get some peanut butter M&Ms." And he's like, "No, it's shrooms. This is completely fucking different." I'm like, "I'm amazed you can type." Okay, knowest thou not that Israel is committed unto thee in the land of their captivity? Up then, and eat bread, and forsake us not. Sorry, and eat bread. As the shepherd that leaveth his flock in the hands of cruel wolves.
Well, that's a good way to get ergot poisoning, a.k.a. LSD.
Go, get up and go eat bread. Forsake us not. What the fuck, man? Don't tell me what to do, Dad. Go on.
Yeah. Then I said unto him, Go thy ways from me, and come not nigh me. And he heard what I said, and went from me. And so I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as Uriel the angel commanded me.
So here's what I need you to do, man. For like the next week, I need you to be this whining,
whiny little bitch.
A whole week? Yeah. And you're not going to be able to eat anything either. Why? Well, God works in mysterious ways.
Reasons, man. Because Jeebus.
Yeah, and I think like the next 7 or 8 passages here all start with and. Mm-hmm. And 7 days, so it was. So I did do 7 days. That the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me again.
Yeah, man.
I was
if you
fucking hungry.
Yeah. Starve me for a week. I'm not going to be happy.
And my soul recovered the spirit of understanding. Well, all of a sudden, shit that didn't make sense before did because I'm hallucinating.
Yeah.
And I began to talk with the Most High again. And this is the God because it's a capital H.
Yeah. And that's because you're starving, motherfucker.
You're starving and you're about to die.
And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine.
Uh-oh.
And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. What the fuck does that even mean? I mean, I get the idea that they're saying, out of all the earth, you've chosen one spot, but why do they say, why do they... Yeah. And of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
That's a Jesus allegory right there.
Yeah, it's the valley.
And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river. And of all the builded cities, yes, builded, thou hast Sion unto thyself. So probably Zion in this case, but hallowed Sion unto thyself. And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove. Is a dove a fowl?
It's a bird, so yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I'm thinking of different usage of the word fowl, and I'm thinking waterfowl. Sorry. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided the one sheep. So, yeah, these are all like they're saying Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Well, and it doesn't make any sense because there are more than one type of. There's more than one type of dove.
Yeah.
And most people don't even realize that pigeons are a type of dove.
I know that one.
Yeah.
They taste just like them. No, I'm just kidding.
and there's more than one kind of sheep.
Many more sheep than they're letting on in this case.
And among all the multitudes of people thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. Okay. And now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many, and upon the one root hast thou prepared others, and why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many?
Why didn't you keep us segregated? We liked it that way.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier to tell who's the in-group and out-group in that case.
Yeah.
And they which did gainsay thy promises, and believed not thy covenants, have trodden them down. If thou didst so much hate thy people, yet shouldest thou punish them with thine own hands.
Huh?
Believe not thy covenants, have trodden them down. Yeah, for the people that didn't believe in you, we fucked them up.
Yeah.
But if you hated these people so much, you should yet shouldest thou punish them with thine own hands. Why'd you make us do it? Why didn't you do it yourself, you omnipotent motherfucker?
I guess that's what he's trying to say here.
That's what it sounds like. But I'm an atheist, so what do I know?
Yeah. Now when I had spoken these words, the angel that came to me the night afore was sent unto me.
It's the Ministry of Magic sending out the letter saying, don't do magic out of school in Harry Potter.
But he was already talking to this guy.
You're talking shit. I'm going to come down and correct you here real quick.
We're talking, and then you're talking to me, and then you say something, and I show up again, even though I'm already there.
No, he woke up from the Uriel chat before, and now he's coming back. God damn it.
I guess. And said unto me, hear me, and I will instruct thee. Hearken to the thing that I say, and I shall tell thee more. Shut up and listen, idiot.
And I said, speak on, my lord. Free bird. And he said unto me, thou art sore troubled in mind for Israel's sake. Oh, you're so worried for that country. You're such a Lovest thou that people better than he made them? And I said, no, Lord, but of very grief have I spoken, for my reins pain me every hour, reins, while I labor to comprehend the way of the Most High and seek out part of his judgment. Quit trying to read the teacher's edition.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to see the answer key.
And he said unto me, Thou canst not. And I said, wherefore, Lord? Which would mean, why, Lord? Whereunto was I born then? Or why was not my mother's womb then my grave, that I might not have seen the travail of Jacob, and the wearisome toil of the stock of Israel? And he said unto me, number me the things that are not yet come. God damn you.
Back to that line.
I mean, at least Zen koans are short and concise. Gather me together the dross that are scattered abroad. Make me the flowers green again that are withered. Okay, so just
you
do all the
them.
shit that can't be done, and yeah.
Open me the places that are closed, and bring me forth the winds that in them are shut up. Show me the image of a voice. I could do that. I know what waveform looks like.
Yeah.
And then I will declare to thee the thing that thou laborest to know. And I said, O Lord, that bearest rule, who may know these things but he that hath not his dwelling with men?
Space aliens.
A hermit.
Yeah. As for me, I am unwise. How may I then speak of these things whereof thou asketh
me.
There's no th at the end of it. It's just a T.
Askest. There you go.
Yeah. Then he said unto me, like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, Even so, canst thou not find out my judgment, or in the end the love that I have promised unto my people?
They need to quit with the negative after the negative, Canst thou not?
Well, yeah, and that just sounds like...
Even so, can you find out my judgment? That's all you got to say. You don't have to say, canst thou not find out my judgment? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, well, he's just sort of like saying, fuck you, you ain't gonna know shit, and, you're gonna have to accept that.
And I said, behold, O Lord, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved till the end. And what shall they do that have been before me? Or we that be now. Slow that one down. Or we that be now, or they that shall come after us. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. My precious. Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. So I'm going to move at the speed I've always been running at. Fuck you guys. I'm not going to be nice to people. I'm going to be the same judgment across all times at the same speed at the same time. So,
and I ain't going to tell you shit.
Nope.
So
twist in the wind, fucker.
Yeah.
Twist in the wind.
So I answered and said, couldst thou not make those that have been made and be now and that are for to come at once, that thou mayest that thou mightest show thy judgment the sooner? Then he answered me and said, the creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein. The fuck?
Sounds like Ray Comfort's argument,
No,
How dare you question God? He's your creator. He's your father. He loves you. He wants nothing more than for you to join him in the afterlife. But first, the whores. No, I'm just kidding.
But Ray makes more sense than that.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Because he's pretty incomprehensible.
Oh man, my patrons on the show that I do at Utah Outcasts, they paid for me to buy the new Ray Comfort movie so that I can review it. It's like, I feel so dirty having to buy this fucking thing because I just gave the guy $20.
You didn't check to see if it was on Pirate Bay?
I tried. I honestly tried every way that I possibly could. So I did what an atheist does, and I made an angry sounding name for their account, and they send it to me. And I've been fucking around with them on Twitter. Like I've watched the movie at least 5 times now, Ray. I'm going to tell all my friends about it, trying to hope that he will spread it around.
Speaking,
okay. Go for it.
I have a question because you may know the answer.
Okay.
There is apparently a fan edit of Blade Runner that combines. Basically, the guy makes a mashup of all the various versions.
Oh, okay.
And I've been able to find the description, but I haven't been able to find the video on the web. It's called the Ultimate Work Print, but it has in the original version of Blade Runner, the voiceover narration, as well as all the added footage, which is really what I want because I know people hate the voiceover, but I actually like the voiceover, and I also like the ambiguous ending where they're just you see them leaving Deckard's apartment and you don't see them in the car and him saying Rachel's got no expiration date or whatever it is he says, and I cannot find a copy of on the torrent sites that I know of.
I'll have to look for that one because that sounds very interesting. I just found a synopsis of the whole thing, so
yeah,
find out what they've changed and didn't change. Check that out. It looks like it got burned onto a.
Yeah, that's the review I read. That's how I found out about it because there's a site called Fan Edit, which they used to have links to all the various torrents, but I guess that got DMCA'd, so they no longer have the links and they just have descriptions and stuff. But I was wondering if somebody had done something like that Ultimate Work Print, and I looked on Fan Edit and I discovered that there were no torrent links there anymore. And then Googling around, I found that review where the guy talks about getting a copy of it burned to DVD. So it's just like, fuck, I want to find that now. Especially since the sequel's going to be coming out in a couple of years.
Sooner rather than later, I believe.
Yeah, 2018, I think, which is... I understand why they want to get it out so soon, but they really should hold it off for another year. Since it'll be 2019, which is when the movie takes place.
That'd be funny.
And
we have yet to see any of that fun stuff that Philip Dick wanted us to have at this time.
Yeah. Well, I would like... 2019 is also the 100th anniversary of Metropolis.
Ooh.
And I really wish somebody would do a remake of that because there's, elements of it that are applicable today, even if we don't live in exactly that kind of world.
There was a anime that I saw that was almost a retelling of Metropolis. I got to find out what the hell. I think that might have been the actual name of it. Was Metropolis? Yeah, it was called Metropolis. Yeah. Wasn't too bad. I mean, it looked like the old it was the Japanese interpretation of the Fritz Lang classic, but it was based on Osamu Tezuka, who is like the godfather of anime.
Yeah.
Like he did that Kimba the White Lion series a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think he also did Astro Boy. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because there were like there were several anime that guy did that were, late 50s, early 60s, or late 60s, early 70s. I don't remember which. I didn't get any of them where I lived and only heard about them after I graduated high school and went to college and started hanging out with cool people. So,
let's see. Where did we finish off on the last
44
verse?
Is where you would start.
Okay. No, it would be 45, wouldn't it? Yeah, 45 is where we start because shall be created therein. So, because we end on an even, so...
Yeah, but no, we ended on... like the last thing was that thou show thy judgment the sooner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's you, isn't it?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah. Then answered he me. God damn, motherfucker.
I hate that line.
And said, the creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein.
Yeah, that's why we went off on the Ray Comfort line right there. I think that was what it was.
It could be.
And I said, as thou hast said unto thy servant, that thou, which givest life to all, hast given life at once to the creature that thou hast created. And the creature bare it. Even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. And he said unto me, ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, why dost thou not together, but one after another? Because that's not how biology works, you fucking idiot. Pray her, therefore, to bring forth 10 children at once.
Well, that actually happened. Well, not 10, but it was
not
8.
10. Yeah, we had that Kate lady.
Octomom.
Oh, man. Ugh, I hate that lady. Terrible, terrible person.
Yeah, and like Angelina Jolie, she looked better before she had all the plastic surgery.
Yeah, but you can't fix crazy. No amount of plastic surgery fixes crazy.
That is very true. And I said, she cannot, but must do it by distance of time. Then said he unto me, even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their times.
See? I'm doing it just like women do.
Yeah, even though I'm God and I can do anything I want, I still got to do it this way because
the rules that I set up, I can't break my own rules.
Yes, because of vagina.
For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the aged. Oh no, there's some kids that have some really good wisdom. Even so have I disposed in the world which I had created. And I asked and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age.
The fuck does that even mean? And he is with the this is the first use of mother.
Seeing thou now hast given me the way, I shall proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young. Oh man, that's a bunch of crazy. I can't even read into that one.
That's some good shrooms, man. We're gonna leave it at that. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore are unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature.
And
every
it came to pass.
time, I think this can't be it more incomprehensible. It manages to find a way.
That passage should go onto a T-shirt somewhere where it says, "Wherefore unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before."
But what's upset? What's that? I don't understand. I don't understand.
It just reminds me of that scene in The Fifth Element where Corbin Dallas is asking Lilu her name. And he's like, she gives him the long answer, and he's like, no, can you make it short for me? Can you please shorten that? Because it made no sense. And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age when the womb faileth are otherwise. So young people are going to be young, old people are going to be old, and you're going to have outliers in each group because bell curves. Consider thou, therefore also, without a comma here, so that consider thou, therefore also, how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you.
So, in other words, it's cranky old man bullshit about how things were so much better, way back when than they are now.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Goddamn kids! In my day, we had to walk 14 miles to school in the snow, uphill both ways, and we liked it.
In my day, we had zip disks, not this cloud computing bullshit that you kids have.
And when you got the click of death, you liked it. And so are they that come after you, less than ye, is the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. So, you kids today are pussies compared to men, little babies when I was a young man. Then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, if I have found favor in thy sight, show thy servant by whom thou visitest thy creature. Man.
Wow, that's thick.
Good drugs. Good drugs.
Just the best, the greatest, the best mushrooms money could buy.
Yeah, it's years ago, way long ago.
Hey, look, man, I found some peyote. Oh, really? Let me take a bite. Oh, look, there's a bunch of green things on the bottom of it. There's half a green thing.
Ages ago, I had a buddy of mine. He's like, here's 3/4 of a tab of acid. And I'm like, well, that's not going to be not going to be a lot of fun. It was the best shit I've ever had in my life. I don't know where they got it, but boy, it was some good shit, man. I can remember being on it and thinking, I don't know if I'm going to come down.
That's the worst kind of high, where you're like, fuck, what was life again?
Yeah, I just remember getting sucked into a red LED on my CD player.
Just reminds me of the time when I had to get a in-office crown done at the dentist, and Yeah, I'm old. Fuck you people. And so I got the in-office crown done, but they left me hooked up to the nitrous the whole time I was there. So I had like 2.5 hours of being on like super nitrous. So I'm like, maybe this is reality and the other shit's not real. Oh man, only high thoughts, I swear to God. Boy, this guy's on some good stuff though. Maybe he's drinking that the way they used to make beer back then, where they just kind of spit into grain mash.
Yeah. What was there? I know that they have found beer that the yeast they used to make the beer also produced an antibiotic. Probably,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I forget what antibiotic it was, but it's actually one we use today. I would not be at all be surprised if somebody didn't find a yeast that produced some kind of hallucinogenic thing that they used in an ancient beer.
Well, as they say with the wormwood infused green fairy that you get from absinthe,
Yeah, well,
nice little byproduct.
Unfortunately, we can't get that here, even though we can now get absinthe.
Yeah, we get the bastardized version of it.
Because we're Americans and we can't do no drugs or stuff or whatever.
We can't be trusted to be adults.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just.
Oh no, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm just setting this up so I can remember when I do the next one of these where the fuck to start. Because God, since we're there, it went all right. Since we're definitely past the hour mark now, and I don't think either one of us has the brain capacity to handle.
No, I don't think I could go for another round. I'd have to drink more, and then that would be that'd be bad news.
Yeah, that would be even worse because
I'm already starting to blah, 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 stumble over shit that I'm reading. I'm like, this doesn't read like English. Well, it's terrible.
Yeah, this is the University of Michigan's website that this comes from, and I got it linked from the American Ethiopian Church because that's.
The American Ethiopian Church. That's actually pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, and but where they got this translation, I have no idea. I mean, forget the whole fact that it's in King James's English. There's all kinds of weird typos and shit that I found in the other books and interpolations, and it's like, who proofread this? Did anybody proofread this? And then again, of course, you have to think, how the fuck could you proofread this shit? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So, well, you want to give everybody a
quick rundown of where they can find me?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm X from the Utah Outcasts. Tucker's had me on the show before. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the last little segment that I helped him out here with this crazy fucking religious book because it makes no goddamn sense. Anyway, you can find me and those of my ilk on the Utah Outcasts, which you can also find on UtahOutcast.com. On YouTube, we do a full video show there. You could find us on Podhell Media, which is podhell.com, and all sorts of other places. We are a atheist show where there's 3 of us out and about in the lovely state of Utah. We call ourselves Utah Outcasts because we are not the typical people that live in Utah. So, yeah, we're not Mormons. Anyway. Come check us out. We do about a hour to 2 hour show every week and got all sorts of other bonus content out there. So come check us out, UtahOutcasts.com.
All right. Thank you.
Like a commercial.
Hey, that's professional.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode of The Atheist in the Trailer Park Podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, as well as just about anywhere else podcasts can be found. Many of the episodes are also on YouTube. Follow the show on Twitter. @TParkAtheist is the show's Twitter handle. It's on Facebook at facebook.com/trailerparkatheist.com. If you happen to like the podcast, please rate it on iTunes. If you'd like to support the podcast, there's a donate button on the show notes page. You can support it via Patreon at patreon.com/TN Tucker. Thanks for listening.
Say goodnight, Fuzz-Nuts.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
Damned cat.